So we have talked about some great movies, some like really great movies. But at a certain point, you got to bring out the top tier shit. There's tons and tons of directors, but then there's fucking geniuses. And to me, one of my favorite directors ever is a man by the name of Danny Boyle, which has which has created movies such as this Train Spotting. This is right here one of my favorite movies of all time, and obviously this is not a horror movie, but this is what I'm trying to get into. Danny Boyle makes movies. He this man has no limit. He did Train Spotting. He did Trance. He did that Steve Jobs movie. He goes everywhere. But then he comes around and he's like, I'm gonna dip my toes in some horror. You know what I mean? Like, not in some horrors, in some horror. I'm gonna blow everybody's fucking socks off. This motherfucker brings it home with 28 Days Later. This movie is so fucking good. Straight to the point. Okay, so let's get into it. So, well, first of all, I'll just give you the basis of it, and then we'll get into a little bit more spoiler territory, right? So basically, what's going on? It's simple. Pretty much as far as we know, the whole world has been infected. Infected by something. There's a young man that wakes up, and he wakes up 28 days after this started. I mean, assuming that's the name of the movie, and yeah, the world's gone to shit. It's like zombie type people, but fucking horrifying. They're not George Romero slow type of zombies. They're like, I'm gonna run at you, top notch speed, run on the track like Jesse Owens type of shit, and you're fucked. So if you get touched, not if you get touched, but like if any blood gets in your mouth and your eyeballs and any cuts and any orifices, you're infected. Okay, so that's that's where we're at in the movie. Okay, so let's get into, like I said earlier, some spoiler territory. The very beginning of the movie, there's it looks like some like activists, and they break into a lab filled with monkeys, and these monkeys are going ape shit. See what I did there? Ape, because monkeys. So these monkeys are fucking going wild, and the activist plan are to release these monkeys. Bada bing bada boom, get out of there. So a scientist run in and he's like, hey, you guys gotta stop. And they're like, why? And he's like, these monkeys are infected with rage, whatever that is. Apparently that's a disease, rage. So anyways, they release them, and that's where it fucking starts. Okay, so we cut to a butt naked ass dude in a hospital bed. Normally I'd be like, I'm alright with that. However, this is what's his name, Cillian Murphy. Those of you that don't know, it's the guy from what's that show, Peaky Blinders. He's the Scarecrow in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Motherfucker's a beast, and he's butt naked in this movie right off the bat, showing his fucking his chia pet, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, it's beside the point. What I love about movies is you could get my attention with just some beautiful shots. Like, the movie could be like nothing going on and shit like that, but my eyes keep getting focused on just like, wow, that's fucking gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This movie is nonstop filled with the most beautiful fucking shit ever. And when I say beautiful shit, like, it's a bunch of gore and all this shit, but the thing is, the way this is filmed is just fucking phenomenal, man. So homeboy wakes up from his hospital bed, and he starts pulling tubes out of his arm and all that kind of shit. And so he starts fucking walking down the hospital. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on, trying out phones and all this stuff. All these shots are fucking just great. Just real simple, a lot of them are from like a distance, all this shit. But there's nobody around. Tell me that's not fucking terrifying, dude. Like, you wake up from a coma and then there's just nobody. Like, you don't know where the fuck you are. You don't know what's going on. Anyways, he grabs a few sodas, puts them in a bag, keeps walking. By the way, he's not naked anymore. He has like hospital scrubs and all that kind of. Then it cuts to him, walking through the streets of London. By the way, this is all in the UK, and this is filmed in. It's it's very grainy looking. It doesn't look like the highest quality of film that they have, but that's what makes it fucking great. Danny Boyle has the capability to film in top-notch 4K if he wanted to. That's not what filmmaking is about. It's about doing the right look for the right piece of art. And Danny Boyle knocks it out of the fucking park. So, homeboy is just walking through the streets of London, trying to figure out what's going on, picking up money from the floor, thinking that's worth a damn. It ain't. Spoilers, it ain't. He's walking down, and the music's just kicking up slowly. Little by little, you just hear some... Fuck, if this song doesn't just go perfect for this fucking scene. It's adding a little tension, you know? Because it starts off slow, and then it starts, like, picking up, you know? As he's walking, you see big band and all this shit. He eventually finds a church. And in this church is one, like, to me, it's one of the most... I don't want to say iconic, because I know not everybody remembers this, but, like, one of the scenes that sticks in my head more than any horror movie, you know? There's just something really fucking creepy about it. This dude goes to the church, he walks upstairs, and he's looking down to all the seats. I don't know what they call it, partitions or whatever they are. But he's looking down, and it's a sea of people, and it just looks like sea of corpses. So it's like, okay, what would happen if the world's going to shit? Everybody, like tons and tons of people would run to a church, you know, and you know, people need shit in their life. I get that, whatever, you know, I get it. So that's where people are going, and people are just dying right there, and it's like, that's fucking heartbreaking. That's fucking tough to watch. So he's staring at all these people. Like I said, still fucking confused. Put yourself in his shoes. Looking at all these people, and this is the part that fucking sticks in my head. He says hello, right? Hello? It's some, like, he says it like real Britishy, you know? And the camera moves like real quick to one dude that gets up. He's an infected dude, right? He looks, and he's looking straight at him, and it's just real still. And then the camera pans real quick to another dude, and dude's just staring at him. It's something about that fucking shot that's just so fucking creepy to me, man. It trips me the fuck out. And anyways, he stirs some shit up just by saying hello, by making some noise, because all those people in there were not dead. They were just, you know, malnourished, you know. So he starts trying to take off. He hears a noise. A priest busts through the door, and he's infected and like kind of slashing at him and shit like that. My boy Murphy, remember I told you he picked up a bunch of sodas? He has a bunch of Pepsis in a fucking in a Stater Brothers bag, and fucking knocks his fool out, or hits the shit out of him, right? And then he's like, "Oh, Father, I'm sorry," and he's panicking, and he starts booking it. Before you know it, he has a sea of fucking infected people running after him. Okay, so like eventually like some kind of explosion happens, you know, it's fucking wild. But it turned out there was two individuals. One is one of the main characters in the movie. Her name's Selena. And the other dude, I don't know his name. He's not that important. Spoilers, they kill him off. They basically save him. They're all in like kind of riot gear and shit like that. They save him. They hide out in a little shop, in a little store. It might have been the gas station. I think they were in I don't know. Either way, they lock themselves in there, and they just throw a bunch of candy at him, and they kind of explain to him what's the deal, you know? Dude's in panic mode. Like I said, he just went through all this shit. He woke up from a coma to like, what the fuck is going on, right? Like I said, they explain everything to him. He doesn't want to believe everything, and he's like, I gotta go see my parents, and they're like, dude, are you fucking dumb? They're dead. Like everything's fucked right now. He convinces them. They're like, okay, we'll go in the morning. We go during daylight or whatever. They get to his parents' house, right? And this is where it gets. This is some more like shit that's just burned into my fucking skull, and it just really fucking pulls on your heartstrings, man. They get to the house. Dude runs in like he's gonna see his parents, like they're gonna hug him and shit like that. He goes upstairs, busts through the door. It's his mom hugging his dad in their marital bed, just dead. They're dead, right? They're all, like super like like super dead. Like they're like real skinny and shit like that. And he kind of looks at the counter, and there's like a bunch of like open pill containers, So basically they ended it together, which is beautiful in a fucked up way. You can't say like, oh, double suicide, that's beautiful. No, well, obviously that's not beautiful. You don't want that. They're in a position where the world's fucked. They don't want to get chewed up. Let's go out together. let's be done with it. And that part is beautiful. Like, they wanted to die together. I get that. And, you know, but then he looks at a picture. His mom's holding a picture, and it's I guess a picture of him when he was younger. Well, it can't be a picture for the future. So yeah, obviously at some point when he's younger. Anyways, she's holding a picture. It has some note on it, and then fucking more heartbreaking shit. It just says, "P.S. Don't wake up." Like, their last moments, all they were thinking about is their son. Like, it's fucking... This is within the first 15 fucking minutes of the movie, dude. Like, I'm just, like, mind blown. I saw this shit in the theater, dude. And I was just on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what the fuck? This movie's fucking awesome. So, like, that's not the whole movie. Obviously, that, like I said, that's just 15 minutes. But that's just kind of like an introduction to where a lot of this shit leads, you know? So, where do you go from there, right? They decide to spend the night at the house. It's getting dark, right? Murphy's fucking around, turning on like lights, like candles and shit like that. The infected break through that fucking house. They get that dude that Selena was with, whatever the fuck his name was. Like I said, he's toast. They kind of get him. He fights them off. They succeed. However, he has a slice in his fucking arm, and there's like blood in it. And Selena's like, fuck that. She kills him. That's fucking brutal, dude. Like, this is a dude that she's been hanging out with. You know, they made a little squad together, and then she just took him out without hesitation. She didn't let him turn. She saw the fear in his fucking eye, took this motherfucker out. Like, god damn, that's some... It's cold-hearted, but she had to do what she had to do. She did what she done did. She had to do what she done did. Yeah, that'll work. From there, Murphy and Selena, they take off. And they end up finding an older man. They see a light in some apartment, some Christmas lights hanging. So they decide to investigate it. From there, they end up finding an older gentleman and his daughter. Okay, so from there, they show them a radio broadcast that says there's the cure for infection or something like that, right? And it's like an army base, you could tell. So they're like, yeah, we gotta go. So they convince Selena and Murphy to go with them, and they all, road trip, on the road again, on that type of shit. So they get on a car, they're driving, they're stopping for gas, their beauty ensues. They stop at a supermarket, and they play a fucking dope ass song while it's just a montage of them shopping. It's not even shopping, they're stealing. Let's be real with it. Yeah, everybody's dead, but it still doesn't belong to you. It's still stealing. But, well, to be fair, after they were done stealing everything, the dude did leave his credit card, like, fucking have at it, So they start reaching this place, right? And they find like it looked like a closed off, almost like army type situation, right? But it's just closed off. There's corpses here and there, but you can't go through. It's just a dead end. And the dad kind of starts flipping out. He's just like, what the fuck do we do now? It's done. Like, it's done. We done goofed, Where are we gonna go? It's whatever, So while he's having his tantrum, everybody else is kind of just like sitting around, not really paying attention to him. But right above him is a crow chewing on a corpse. He's looking up. That crow drops some blood. That blood falls dead ass in his eyeball. Dude's done at that point. He starts flipping out. He real quick tells his daughter, "Hey, I love you. Back the fuck up." She kind of does. He has to yell her. He has to give her a stern, "Hey, back the fuck up." He doesn't tell her that he's on some shit, but as he's flipping out, he's like it looks like he's gonna attack him or whatever. Out of nowhere, a fucking sea of bullets just gets fucking annihilated by bullets. So what ended up happening was the army knew that the army or military dudes, they knew that they were there, but they were scoping them out first. If they would have kind of hurried up, maybe they wouldn't have been in the elements of blood and shit like that. But so older gentleman unfortunately passes away. He was a very likable dude. Sorry. The military foos, they welcome the rest of them in. They end up going to like a big ass mansion, and they explain to them the situation. They try to make a feast for them, tell them you could have hot showers, this and this, the works, right? But it still seems like it's too good to be true at this point, right? So they kind of explain to Murphy like, "Hey man, do you want to join us? We could train you and all that stuff, but also we want your women," which is pretty fucked up. That was like the whole. It was like he kind of shortly explains to Murphy that we had this broadcast because we wanted to attract women over here. There's no nightclubs anymore. There's there's no Tinder, you know, there's no Jack in the Box.
Jack in the crack, Jack in the box.
You know, none of those pickup techniques work anymore. It's just like, hey, I'll blast some shit on the radio and hopefully some high notes come my way. I get that, but you know, it's not like they were inviting him over and then, you know, we could chat, we could, maybe something happens. It's just like, come over and we're gonna rape you. That's pretty fucked up. You don't, you know, I don't know what year you think we're in. Women have rights, bro, and they deserve that. They earned that shit. You know, so like, definitely respect them. Don't try to rape them. It's a big fucking no-no. So, you know, obviously Murphy, that shit doesn't fly with him. So they kind of beat the shit out of him a little bit, and then they throw him in some room, and their plan is to execute him, you know, away from their normal area, right? At that same time, they're, you know, Selena and the girl, they want to rape them and all that stuff. I you know what? Let's end it there. Like, I may have said way too much. I don't know if my intention was to spoil the whole movie or just talk a little bit about it. But like I said, this is for sure not only one of my favorite horror movies. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's fucking so good. It's just the way it's put together, the way it's filmed, the acting in it. It's just, you know, I really don't even know how many times I've bought this movie. I've bought it on VHS, on DVD, on Blu-ray, on fucking Betamax, on fucking Cinemax, on fucking Xbox One. I don't know, dude. I'll keep fucking buying it, dude. But and it's well deserved. Danny Boyle is a fucking master of his art, man. If you don't know all the works of Danny Boyle, definitely check your local library under B for Boyle. Okay, that's 28 days later.